Jules, tell me how you feel. Are you team Tua or are you team Tyreek?
I don't think there should be teams, right? I mean, this is one team.
Welcome back. We got training camp. This is Outside the Pod, a Miami Dolphins podcast. Again, welcome. Glad to see you here. We are knee deep in training camp, and so we got a bunch of updates. We got a lot of stuff that we want to touch on and talk about, discuss between me and Jules. Me being Danny D, that's my brother Jules again, and we're here to provide you with some comic relief and some just straight up Dolphins talk. Not so much comic relief. We're not that funny. But anyway. Yeah.
We might be funny looking. I don't know about.
Yeah. That's right. But anyway, yeah, camp is on the way, man. And I think one of the first things and more controversial things that's come up was Tua's comments, right, this week on Tyreek. And so basically, if you guys haven't seen it, Tua basically said, hey, Tyreek needs to earn my trust again. You know, after him basically bailing out and saying he's gone after this, hey, I'm gone. Tua seems a little bit, he's a little butthurt about it. And I'm sure some other players on the team as well. But you know how Tua is. He doesn't lie. He's not the type of dude that's going to, feed you any bull crap. He's just going to tell you how it is. And how he feels right now is that Tyreek Hills just didn't, he didn't like it, that he was just going to quit out on the team. And he needs to earn that trust back. And I think he gave him the cold shoulder, I think, to start this training camp. And Jules, tell me how you feel. Are you team Tua or are you team Tyreek?
I don't think there should be teams, right? I mean, this is one team, and I think that I have no problems with what was said on either side. First of all, Tyreek, he's already said before this happened that he needs to be doing better, and so he knows he's in a little bit of a doghouse, but that's how it should be, and the leaders should be holding him accountable. And so I have no problems with Tua saying this. Tua is one of the leaders, and he's supposed to say that. He's supposed to hold them accountable, and and I think
Do you
it's
think
fine.
that maybe that should have been a head coach's job, though, to kind of have that kind of, statement in front of the media versus the quarterback? Maybe the quarterback should have put out a little bit more flowery, like, no, yeah, we're good. We're a team. We're ready to move forward. And then the head coach is kind of covering up for the whole team and saying, hey, this dude, yeah, he said some stuff. He needs to earn his trust. He needs to earn the trust of the team. And he looks like he's ready to go. Do you think that maybe would have been a better idea?
Well, I think he, and a lot of the players want to put an end to it, right? And Tua's leadership style is more upfront, more transparent, and so he's gonna put it out there. And I think it's just because they want it to end. They want to end that conversation. They want to go and practice, hit 100% to training camp, and not be worrying about what's being said and all the noise. And so, I think putting it out there it depends on each and everybody's different leadership styles, but I think in his style, he's just more upfront. And
Yeah.
he's gonna say it. I mean, some other ones will say, yeah, everything's good, and then behind the scenes, he'll go, "Hey, Tyreek, dude, you gotta like," and I'm
Right.
pretty sure that's happening behind closed doors as well.
Right.
Uh, but that's just Tua's leadership style. I don't have a problem with it, and
No.
I think a lot of other people are just reading too much into it, but I don't think they have problems. I think they're going through training camp right now, and I don't see any problems as far as some of the video coming in from the huddle and things like that. It all looks
Right.
like it's standard
Yeah.
procedure right now.
Yeah, I think Tyreek definitely respects Tua, and I think he does know that he was in the wrong. I think my concern was mostly is that the media is blowing it up, and I'm hoping that's not affecting the team in the wrong, in the bad way, right? Where because if you look at some of the mainstream media, they're putting it out there like, oh, is there concerns with Tua and Tyreek, and those of us that are watching the team closely or more closely, I wouldn't say too closely because we're far away, but we understand that the the relationship's probably good. There's probably no real like beef there, but I think some of the media is probably bringing it out a little more than it needs to be. And that's kind of where my concern was, that maybe you got to be a little less candid, Tua, like out to the media, right? There's nothing wrong with that. I know you're a Christian man. You don't like to lie. You want to be upfront. But at the same time, there's nothing wrong with being like, "Hey, no, we're good. Me and Tyreek are good. We're gonna practice like we should to play and win football games." And then like you said, in the locker room, you're like, "Hey, bro, I don't like that shit. You need to earn my trust." You know what I mean? And then go, move forward like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So anyway, another thing that's during this week, media also, or kind of in the media category, is Minkah Fitzpatrick. I don't know if you've seen any updates of that today. I didn't until we had a busy morning, so I haven't really looked into what's happened so far today, this morning, if anything. But Minkah kind of has been dodging the media, and that's kind of concerning to a lot of people, right? And it's kind of concerning to me. It could be nothing. It could be completely nothing, right? It could be just him being like, "Hey, I'm trying to focus, and I know what the questions are gonna be when they come up, and I get that, right? I don't want to answer the questions of why one team didn't want me, and then another team that used to not want me wants me back. So it's kind of one of those things that you absolutely get some anxiety about having to answer those questions and try to be professional about it. So he's probably feeling a little bit of pressure, like, I'm not quite ready to answer these questions because I do have my feelings hurt, man. I am hurt that the Steelers freaking let me go. Yeah, and then I'm back with Miami. Maybe not the best place that he wanted to be. He probably thought he was going to be a Steeler for the rest of his career or something. But and I'm not saying that he doesn't want to be here, but maybe he's still kind of battling that stuff. And but yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, there's some things that went on today in training camp with Minkah, right? And I think what he's trying to, before I say what he kind of the stuff that went on, I think he's trying to set some pieces in place to make sure that his current status with the NFL and with the Dolphins is good, and then into the future as well. Contract wise, I think he's got a new agent now. He's going with Drew Rosenhaus, and I think that's because he wants to make sure that he's going to get a good contract going forward. So I think he's maybe moving some pieces. I think today in training camp, by the way, he had the first interception out of the whole secondary today. And I saw a video on it. It was a really good play that he made. He came flying in. His speed looks good. Of course, like Like we know it's his ball skills, his movement to kind of thread the needle and get through traffic, because there was some traffic there, and he went in flying and just plucked it out of the air, right? So that was a good thing to see. And so I think he's maybe saying, well, I'm gonna let my plane do some talking right now, and at the same time, I'm gonna grab me a new agent so that I make sure that my future is covered. Because you're right. I think this move from Pittsburgh, he's probably like in shock and maybe thought, crap, I need to do something so that I can guarantee that I have a future in this league, and that I'm covered and my family is going to be covered, and everything, right? So I think that's what he's focusing on right now, instead of having to talk to the media about shit that he's still trying to figure out himself.
Right.
So I think it's a good thing. You don't want to go out there and say some stuff that at that point you don't mean or you're not focused on, and I don't think these are things that you want to air out as well, because he's probably going through some of his own questions,
Right.
internal questions about where he is at as a player. Because now he's hearing the noise, right? Pittsburgh didn't want you. You had a down year, even you were your Pro Bowler, you suck.
Yeah.
A lot of that's going on.
Oh yeah.
And so I think he's dealing with that, and I think he's dealing it with that, with some maturity. And yeah, people want to hear from your players, but there's the right time and the not so right time. And I think for him, it's not the right time to be talking.
I'm definitely going to give him the benefit of the doubt at this point.
Yeah.
That he's doing exactly what you're saying, right? He's dealing with it. He needs some time. He'll come back out. He needs to prove himself, and I think that's a big part of it too, right? That he did have a down year, so he's probably looking to prove himself that he's still that type of player, and doesn't really want to answer questions about this whole movement. And you know how the media goes; they're going to ask it roughly, to try to get a rise out of people. That's just the way they do it. So he's probably not trying to deal with that. I'm gonna give him benefit of the doubt, and he's good to go. He's been at He's been at the camp, out there practicing with everybody, leading the team, leading the secondary. So at this point, I'm not too concerned with him.
Right.
Moving into some of the injuries for the training camp, starting with Artie Burns, which I think was one of the earlier ones that I can think of off the top of my head. Obviously, DB depth is almost non-existent right now. We were talking about guys that weren't probably even going to make the roster or going to make the roster now if we don't start picking people up. And yeah, I haven't heard anything about, Cam Smith and what he's been doing. Man.
I heard something.
Was that you heard something?
Yeah.
The last thing I heard was Mike McDaniel saying something to the lines of, they asked him what he needs to do to get on the field, and he stated it, right? But he not once did he say, hey, and he's doing that, right? He's working hard to get out there. He never said any of that. He just said what he needs to do, right? So it gives me no hope for freaking Cam Smith. I don't think we're gonna see him on the field still. And but yeah, I understand you got some more updates as far as the injury front goes.
Yeah. So Kader Kohu came out limping in one of the plays, and but it doesn't look serious. He was walking around the training facilities, and I don't. It doesn't sound. Sorry about that. It doesn't sound like it's serious. And the other player that was also out limping was BJ Adams. So a lot of depth took a hit today. Mm-hmm. But then we heard news that the Dolphins have signed Jack Jones, former Las Vegas Raiders cornerback, and I think that was a good signing. He started almost every game last year for them. He had like 3 interceptions, including a pick 6. So it's a good signing, I would say. And then Kevin Hilton out of the Bengals. He's more of a coming off the bench sort of thing and a depth
Yep.
player. So
okay,
yeah,
so
those two things.
Yeah, they made the moves trying to get back from these injuries, I guess, and I'm hoping that Cater Kohu's injury is not something that's going to keep him out of the field for a long time. I mean, we saw him wearing the orange jersey this week. He's picking all the songs. He's balling out in practice. There's a video of him, taking the ball away from Tyreek's hands. So he's working on Tyreek. And Cater at this point is our DB1. So I definitely don't want to lose Cater Kohu. And I think this year specifically for Cater Kohu, I think it's when you start making strides right in your career. It's like third, fourth year on the field starting, you start really understanding the game. And I think this would be a good year for Cater. So I'm hoping that this is not something long-standing as far as the injury goes.
Yeah, absolutely. And I might have said it's Mike Hilton. I might have said something else, but it's Mike Hilton out of the Cincinnati Bengals.
No, I think you said Mike Hilton.
Okay.
I think I might be wrong, but yeah.
Anyways, there was like as far as that's concerned, there was like 3 interceptions from our secondary today in practice. We had not had interceptions this week at all until today. And
do you know what quarterback was throwing?
Started it off. I think one was. I want to say 2 of them were Zach Wilson and 1 of them was Quinn Ewers. I'm gonna say.
Okay, as long as it's not Tua. I don't want to see it.
From what I'm hearing, I think that the defense has been dominating.
Yeah,
the defense has been dominating, especially the front 7. The defensive line looks awesome. The linebackers are making play. What's the inside linebacker?
Brooks.
Shit. Yeah, Jordan Brooks and is it Willie Gay as well? Willie Gay's
in there now, yeah. And we had Dotson.
And Dotson, yeah. So yeah, they've been doing well, man. The defense has been dominant. We haven't heard a lot. I mean, there was a couple plays. There was Quinn Ewers has been doing some good throws, man. Some good sideline throws and a deep ball as well. He's not playing against our number 1 defense, right? But he's for the most part. But yeah, he's
looking better than Skylar Thompson, maybe.
Yeah, and there's some good news about wide receiver depth. I think D. Eskridge has been doing well as well.
Right.
So there's some good news from those.
Right. I mean, I hear that one. I don't know if it's true. It was kind of like a rumor out of the X or formerly Twitter of like Mike McDaniel pulling out Tua and Waddle sometimes just because they're just dominating. Like they had like 7 touchdowns or something like that. Like it was something crazy. So I mean, I believe that. I mean, I did see the videos of Waddle going deep and getting a great catch. I'm hoping that's because in my mind, one of the big offensive things that we needed to improve is that connection with Waddle and Tua, because I believe that Waddle is so much better than he was last year. He's such a more of a better wide receiver than what we saw last year. And it maybe not his fault. It was probably just the run game and everything else.
He looks jacked too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody looks at them working out a little bit more than like the previous offseason, right? I mean, even Tua looks a little leaner. We don't want to get it too much into that because it's always Tua. Tua got fat. Tua got lean. Tua got this and that. But yeah. So anyway, Tua, just stay off the fucking grass. That's all I care about. And then your connection with Waddle, I think, needs to be important. Tyreek, I think as long as his head is straight, screwed on straight, and we're good. We're golden on that receiver front. Haven't heard anything from Westbrook Akine, which is it is what it is. Like when they brought him in, I wasn't totally hyped or anything. He's a bigger body receiver, so I like that part where you kind of have like a little mixture. But I wasn't like, oh yeah, he's gonna totally freaking transform our offense. I didn't think that, so I'm not too concerned with him not really having too much of a camp just yet. But we'll see. I mean, he's done stuff in the past. He's been a starter in the league for quite a while, so I'm not too concerned that he won't be able to produce something for our offense. I also saw that Zach Wilson's also improving a little bit. Some of his concerns about his timing are kind of getting better and stuff like that. So some good stuff coming out of our quarterback depth, which is crucial for us, of course, with injury prone Tua. So, yeah. Anything else on the camp front?
Yeah. So talking about the defensive backs part, we mentioned Cam Smith, and then where he's at. We talked about this on the pod before, that we don't think Cam Smith's going to be on. I personally don't think Cam Smith's going to be on the team week 1. That was one of my not so bold predictions, but
yeah,
and he's not doing a lot to help himself. Today he got beat on a double move, and Queen Ewers threw a ball over his head and completed that. So yeah, so he's not looking good as far as I've seen or heard. And by the way, BJ Adams was carted off the field, so he wasn't able to get off the field under his own power, which is not good news for him. So, but yeah, we signed the 2 guys. Hopefully, the depth will be okay. We'll see. I think again, we're still counting on the front 7 doing its job, and therefore taking away from pressure on the outside. So, I mean, that's what looks like. That's what they're banking on, and that's what we're hanging our hopes on, right?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, Cater Kohu being out would be a problem for sure for this secondary, because
hopefully
you could only polish that turd so much with the defensive line, right? And then after that, I mean, if you completely have no DBs, no cornerbacks, I mean, you could only do so much. So yeah, Cater, we're rooting for you to come back. Another crazy news that I think a lot of people are getting way too hyped about, or not hyped, but just like coming out of their caves and getting all up in arms about Christian Wilkins and his contract being voided by the Raiders a couple of days ago. Due to the fact that I guess he's not taking care of his injury as well as they want him to, and they're not so confident that he's looking to get back on the field as fast as he needs to be. So they voided his contract. A couple of things there, right? Some Miami fans are like, let's bring him home. Others are like, F no, too expensive. And not only that, but there's some character flaws there. You know what I mean? He didn't show him much when he was with us. I loved having Christian Wilkins in Miami when it was him and Zach Sieler. I loved him here.
Yeah.
But I mean, is there some stuff that's kind of falling off the rails for him now that he's gotten a little? It was a big contract. Maybe he kind of fell off after that one. Get lazy, you know what I mean? I don't know if he's getting, complacent. But yeah, I definitely wouldn't bring him back. Number 1, because of contract. Number 2, just because I don't think we need him, especially for the money. And I think the defensive line is set. I saw Jonah and Kenneth Grant have like a good rivalry of who's going to be in practice earliest and who's leaving the practice latest. So they got a good, healthy rivalry between the 2 guys on either side of that line. And I don't need some, clown coming over here and disrupting that kind of mentality from these guys. And I'm not saying that Christian Wilkins, I believe, was good for the whole team, at least from the outside looking in. When he was here, I think a lot of people liked him. He was comic relief on the field. I mean, he was always mic'd up because people loved hearing what he had to say. But you know, again, I wouldn't bring him back because of the money, and we just don't need him. But it is unfortunate for him. You know what I mean? I don't know for a fact what is going on with his injury, and I don't think anybody knows. I mean, doctors could only speculate how much pain he's in. You know what I mean? Nobody really knows. So, I mean, I don't remember too many contracts being voided in that way. So it's kind of crazy. And kind of the Raiders are kind of a little bit under fire about it, and obviously Christian Wilkins is going to lawyer up. And this is going to be kind of a big story as far as, NFL holistically and contracts and stuff like that. But what you think?
It's interesting, right? Like we talked about this last week. We talked about contracts and we talked about the player side of it, where they're demanding this guaranteed money up front, especially the first 2 rounds now, if you're drafting the first 2 rounds. But this is the other side of it, right? Like an owner getting out of one. And it's interesting because you don't know a lot of the details. You don't know, like, I haven't heard a lot of the Christian Wilkins side of things where, what is the truth about him not following some kind of rehab program? That seems like fishy to me in some ways. Like, especially from a player like Christian Wilkins, who I thought, before this whole thing, was one of, a very professional, type of guy where he wasn't going to mess around with those kinds of things, injuries and contracts and things like that. So this was kind of a little bit of a shock. But again, with the contracts, we're seeing that other side where an owner can just, point to something, blame Christian for something that he might have done or allegedly did, and then void a contract like that. Each side has its own, issues and advantages or disadvantages as far as contracts. So I think there's on both sides there's some work to do as far as how this whole thing can affect the league, and so that's going to be interesting to hash out and see what's going to happen. I think there's going to be some kind of lawyer involved or something like that, because to peel all these different layers out. So we'll see what happens, man. That's going to be interesting. But the other part of it is, fans saying, "Oh, we got to bring him back." No, we freaking don't. We're right now trying to shed some of this, tied up money that we have, and we have pieces that we are feeling really good about, like Kenneth Grant and Jordan Phillips. They're looking good. They're gonna come in way cheaper, so why not?
For now.
Yeah, I mean, at least for now. But then you draft
Jordan
another
Phillips
guy, and
is
then
coming up,
you try to keep that balance, right? The people who deserve, to me, and this is just my opinion, the people who deserve those long-term contracts that are eating up the big chunks of money are like your franchise quarterbacks, or those people that are indispensable for fans, for bringing asses to these seats in the stadium. That to me,
Tyreek is one of them.
Yeah, and so those are the people you wanna keep around, because those are the identity of your team, your franchise players, the guys that are carrying this team, and not only on the field but also in the fans' hearts. And that's where you spend the money. You want to bring Christian Wilkins back in for what? He's We liked the guy when he was here. Him and Sieler kind of bounced off each other. I mean, it was nice seeing that camaraderie and that they had a special relationship. Yeah, that was great. But I don't think we need that. We don't need
Yeah.
that right now.
Yeah, and it's you brought up Zach Sieler, and we didn't touch on him, even though I have him highlighted on my sheet here. And that's the man that we need to pay.
Oh yeah, that's one.
Yeah, I mean that's a straight up pro. You hear him talking on the field. He's going out to practice it. I mean, he's gonna be forced to hold out if they don't pay him, but I think they will. I mean, we'd be very dumb because this dude has been nothing but a straight horse for this team since we got him from Baltimore, man. Ever since he's been nothing but a pro. He's been nothing but a leader in the line. Nothing but a run stopper.
He makes plays.
Sacks makes plays, man. So this dude needs to get paid.
Yeah,
so,
he's a good guy on the field and in the locker room. He's a leader. Right. And I think he said it in his one of his interviews this week. He's saying that his best days are ahead of him.
Still
he has a lot to prove, a lot to give to this team, and he's shown loyalty in coming into camp where he could have just said, nah, fuck it, until I get a contract, right? But no, I mean, that to me shows a lot.
Yeah,
and you got to pay the man.
Yeah, that's the type of dudes that you want to keep on the team.
Yeah.
And yeah, so don't talk about Christian Wilkins, especially not until Zach Sieler's paid. So another thing that kind of come out this week was that sneak peek of the uniform, the new Rivalry uniform. You seen that video, right? Where there's like a Miami Dolphins jersey in the water, but like in deep water. It's not like blue water. And then at the end, and I'll put it on after I do my edits. I'll put it on for everybody to see, but and then at the end, it's like the logo has like a darker teal and kind of grayish tones into the colors. So in my mind, it seems like they're gonna go with a darker look, a dark teal maybe, with a like a dark gray dolphin part of the logo, still kind of maybe the orange sun, but that's my prediction for the uniform, right? It's probably gonna be like a darker, full, like the helmet same color, jersey same color, pants. So it's like a color rush of something dark. Because like I said, for whatever reason, they had it like in deep water, like in the dark of water, not like up top in Miami. You know how it is normally, right? Where it's like the Miami water, clear waters or whatever. That's kind of what the uniform stands for now.
Right.
But now they're going into the deep water, rivalry. That look, I'm kind of hyped. I'm kind of hyped for the uniform. Yeah. So anyway, I don't know what's taking them so long to unveil it. I mean, shoot, we're almost there, man. I mean, we play a game against the Jets, right? The first quarter, was it the second game, third game, or something like that?
Yeah.
That. So I'm thinking that's gonna be our first time wearing it, and I think it was a Monday night. I can't remember the schedule. I should have pulled it up, but either way, it's gonna be because I think it's only for prime time, right? It's like prime time rivalry games. I think is the ones that.
I gotta say, it is our fourth game. Yeah, it is our fourth game, week 4, Monday night against the Jets. I think that's when it's.
Especially because the Jets also had their little sneak peek video as well, kind of similar to ours.
Yeah.
It was like smoke or something on their jersey.
Right.
So okay. So I'm thinking that's probably gonna be our first time wearing this uniform. So come on, man, let me see it.
Yeah,
let me see it. I'm ready to see it.
I said it on Reddit this week, take my money. As soon as I saw the video, I was like, take my money, man. Yeah, I agree. It's going to be some kind of a dark color, probably even black. So at first I was thinking, like a deep, you're right, like a deep teal, aqua, maybe something like this. This is more like navy, but
that's just blue, deep, man.
Well, it looks different on camera though, but it's
Yeah, I got you.
but you know what? I've always liked, and I'm gonna give them credit right now. I've never said this before, but I give the Seahawks credit for the dark blue uniform that they have with the neon green. To me, it looks awesome. That combination of the deep colors with like
With like a
neon trim is what I'm
so you're
thinking.
thinking the orange might be that
Well,
same,
we have that
similar to that.
opportunity, right? Not only that, but if you have a light neon aqua, have you seen like that blue that I mean, and it doesn't necessarily need to be this blue, but the you know how the Arizona Diamondbacks have that trim with the light blue, and it almost looks like very like neon.
Right,
I think something like that. So like a light aqua, neon, and orange as well, with those deep grays, aquas, or teals that they're gonna break out. Even maybe black. I think it's gonna look awesome, dude. I'm hyped for it too.
Yeah, I mean so the renderings that I've seen, like fan made, a lot of them are like the Miami Vice style,
Miami
right?
Vice,
with like
with
the pink and the teal and
the
black.
fuchsia.
Yeah. So I hope that's not it, because I'm not about it. I don't know.
Okay with it, but this seems better to me.
This seems better.
Seems better.
Right. What we're thinking seems better for sure.
Absolutely.
Like the dark teal and dark gray, maybe. I'm hoping they don't brighten up the face mask though. Leave that shit. If it's all black uniform, leave it the same color, blacked out. You know what I mean? Don't put a like aqua face mask on black uniform, or a pink fuchsia, like you said. Freaking mask. No, please.
No.
I just saw it in my mind and I was like, oh my God, no. Like a black helmet with a fuchsia freaking face mask. Please don't. Yeah. So yeah.
I don't know, man. Yeah. No, I'm pretty hyped for it. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, we'll see what it looks like, but for now it's still, we're looking into another week of training camp, or two more weeks of training camp before the first preseason game on the 8th of August against the Bears. I'm not sure when they're gonna move over to Chicago to start, because I think it's in Chicago, right?
I'm not sure.
I think it is. Either way, I'm not sure when they're gonna start their practices together, basically, and stuff like that. So, but we'll definitely keep an eye on and have some reactions for y'all to listen to, and come and join us for every conversation that we have. Tell us how you think, what you think about the new uniform sneak peek. What are your predictions for that? And yeah, don't talk about Christian Wilkins again, like I said, until we pay Zach Sieler. All right, like and subscribe. Chop that subscribe button. That's what we say here in Outside the Pod. But yeah, for now, we'll see you guys next week with some more updates and some more reaction. All right, fins up. Have a good